Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 4 video. We are on the PTR, the test build for Season 5 changes, and it's not looking good, especially for us, me, you. I don't know if you play Incinerate Sorc, but for the Incinerate Sorc, it is very sad indeed. We got a huge nerf in our Paragon node. Burning Instinct is now capped at 40x%, which previously I got up to like 120, so it's like 80% of my damage just gone. What we did get is a buff into Engulfing Flames. It's now 15% higher on the high end. So that's kind of nice, but it doesn't make up for the damage we lost. And then there's this new aspect, Wild Bolt, which pulls in enemies and then they take 10x more damage. It's pretty cool actually. It doesn't pull all enemies for some reason, just like some, but every 2 seconds. And then I don't know, is it just applied to some enemies that get 10x, or is it applied to all enemies in the vicinity? Probably only the ones that get pulled. And I don't know how it behaves against bosses actually. Let's put a boss training down here. So we used Jens before on the Alive realm. They have less damage, so I actually have more damage, but for the 1-by-1 comparison, I have the same gear as on live, aside from, which we cannot replicate, is the Verse Mastery key passive, because they did fix it, and it now only applies to shock skills, and they also reworked it. So I did use Combustion, which in theory should be even more damage, because Virus Master used to give you 20% damage against close, and if you crit it, I think it was 25. But Combustion gives 40% plus another 4x for unique Source of Burning, which is Incinerate for us, Flame Shield if we activate it, and Firewall when it procs. So, with that being said, let's look at our damage. 30 million, 40 million, 40 million, 50 million, and that is with full engulfing flames. Because the boss dummy is now so low and is only burning for the rest of his life. I don't even know why this is not proccing. Like, it seems to proc less. So I'm actually waiting on Firewall to proc to see the full damage. There it is. So now we see the full damage, the full extent. It's laughable. I see 40 million sometime. I can go to Force Text Russia right here. Let's see what happens. 50 million, 50 million, 50 million, 50 million, 60 million, 80 million. I saw 80 million, but it's only if we channel for a long time, right? Which in reality never happens, because we just don't have the time. And Firewall does seem to proc less for some reason. Now you see the average damage is maybe 40 million. And now we will go to the live server. Just give me 1 second. I need to launch Diablo 4 live. So there's another aspect, a new aspect that is helpful. It stacks damage with crowd control effects, and it stacks damage for damage over time effects, such as Incinerate. So if you can stack that, maybe you can make up for some of the damage, but then you have to think, what aspect are you going to drop? Is it Shredding Blades, so you're losing 30x vulnerable damage? So you need to at least, and I think this new aspect goes up to, let me see, 20x increased damage over time to enemies for each different crowd control effect they are afflicted by. So you can potentially go very high. But then bosses again, and it says here unstoppable enemies and staggered bosses, only staggered bosses, not bosses in general, take 10 to 40x increased damage over time from you instead. So on the perfect aspect, you get 40x on staggered bosses, and you get How many crowd control effects can you put? Immobilize, freeze, stun, slow, daze. So 5, you can 100x damage. Wow, that sounds amazing, but I don't know if that's realistic, especially since 2-hand staff is still the way to go, and you don't have the highest lucky hit chance with that. In any case, this is my live sorcerers now, and you will see, I suspect we're doing like 80 to 90 million, maybe 100 million damage even, after Engulfing Flames is in full effect. And I actually don't have it right here, so let me, I switch to control, doesn't matter. We go to Engulfing Flames, print it, and then go to the dummy. And we will see that we lost a ton of damage. And this new aspect, the aspect of creeping death it's called, it will not make up for it, especially against bosses. A 40x multiplier against a staggered boss is nice, but you need to either drop Engulfing Flames, which got buffed to 45, which is then better, and or Shredding Blades, which is 30x continuously, so not only while staggered. I don't know if you would put it on the amulet, because where do you put conflagration then? But in any case, let's deal some damage. Already seen 80, 110 million, 80 million, 90 million, 80 million, 80 million, 100 million again. So let's see how high we get. 120, 150 million, 130 million. It's like insane. So just for comparison's sake, let's use combustion, which here is only 20x, and see how high it goes here. It's probably less, but comparable. 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, 111, 140, 120. Yeah. So it's sad. And I don't know if there is any hidden stuff that will still come, because everything was data mined so far, and I hope they will change something in the PTR. But it's for now. I'm disappointed, because they said after the debacle that was pre-season 1 patch that they will never take something away without giving something in return, and never make builds worse strictly. But this is just a straight up, yeah, 50% damage reduction, around 50%. And maybe in the ideal conditions of the new aspect, you can get compensated a little bit for it, but I don't really see it, because you don't really have room for that aspect. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna test some more in the PTR. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.